Greetings, good people. Welcome back to TV7 Live. Tilikuona HONDO ZANU-PF. Mnangagwa is in trouble. This video is not only political rhetoric. There is more. What is happening? But it is what it is. What happened at the National Heroes Acre? Who was being buried at the National Heroes Acre? Who is he? Headlines: ED scarf. Conspiracy, ladies and gentlemen, a metaphorical conspiracy that the president's son, Sean Mnangagwa, has been arrested. We know a lot of people are unemployed in Zimbabwe, and Sean Mnangagwa, him being a soldier, it sparks resentment. We did see a letter that is said to be coming from Opamchinguri, and this letter, what is it talking about? It is talking about the Gray issue, the same we see Mutsvangwa speaking about right here.
You can't
Then she calls a fellow war veteran. Remember when Comrade Bombshell Geza was talking about Kudakwashita Gray, Nema accusations. The major accusation he had was issuing treasury bills. What we can benefit. Now, back to issue Kudakwashita Gray. My treasury bills ARBZ ne command agriculture. Fellow Zimbabweans, the next time the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe issues my treasury bills, you as an ordinary Zimbabwean, you should be able, you are always able kunotenga wa treasury bills iwayo. Kutenga ma treasury bills kukweretesa nyika mari. Ma treasury bills anozobhadharwa after period yakati. And the way when you have those treasury bills, you will make same profit rate yakagadzwa na Kudakwashita Gray. The time yakabuda, we did talk about them here on TV7 Live. Maino kana paine vakaterera. Fellow Zimbabweans, zvinobuda out for everybody. Not everybody has a time yekuverenga achitaura zvakamira sei. But we do that and we give you information. Kana chikwanisa kukupa tip, ndokupawo tip. Pamwe nini andina mari yachona kuinvesta. But andingamise munhu asina ane mari yachona kuti akwanise kuinvesta. Ladies and gentlemen, then we see. So this is Monica Mchango. So we see ZANU-PF machona varikutoneseka. Now this letter is said to have been written by Opamchinguri. Personally, I don't think Opamchinguri would be writing such a letter. ZANU-PF hiding a massive scandal. Who is pulling the strings behind the door? And how did Kudakwashita Gray climb to power so fast? Why is the party's constitution being ignored? Does it matter to any Zimbabwean, the party's constitution, ZANU-PF's constitution? What is in the leaked letter to Mchinguri? She's not the one who write the letter. It seems it's the letter to Mchinguri. And could this shake Zimbabwe's political core? Stick around as we unpack this drama. That's a leaked letter addressed to ZANU-PF national chairperson, Comrade OCZ Mchinguri, is shaking things up. And it's all about Kudakwashita Gray's controversial rise to the party. And let's dive in. So what is the deal? This letter, dated June 22, 2025, calls out the unprocedural co-option of Kudakwashita Gray into ZANU-PF Central Committee. The writer, a concerned comrade, is not happy, and here's why. According to ZANU-PF's constitution, you've got to climb the ranks to make it to Central Committee. Years as a cell member, years in a branch structure, years in district structure, years in the DCC. and 5 years in the provincial structure. Guess where Tagwirei stands? Zero structure, zero membership. The letter claims he is just a cell member, but somehow skyrocketed to the top. Talk about jumping the queue. So we are seeing the claims that is being made here. Ladies and gentlemen, this guy is saying zero membership. I don't know how they did know Tagwirei was not into the membership. Right? So we see type of speculation. I'm not defending Tagwirei and I'm not defending Tagwirei. Okay. I am saying we should not accuse people falsely. This letter is a populist letter. Now, the Constitution allows waivers, but only for folks, Jesus, who have held security roles or government jobs. Tagwirei doesn't fit the bill. This letter argues this moves police in the face of accountability, transparency, and Zimbabwe rule of law. What he is saying is very correct, but there are some special admissions, like we see him. Professor Mtulingube so is said to be a technocrat at the time. I know we are seeing that for World Bank, but basically he hasn't performed to my satisfaction. I'm not pleased with the Minister of Finance, what he's doing. I know he's trying, he's working, but there's a lot that I think he doesn't know. Who am I to say that there's a lot he doesn't know? It's not an issue to age. We respect our elders, no disrespect to him, but can ask him to deliver. He is not delivering. So this letter is stirring up major hit. And what do you think? We want to know, what do you think? So do write your comments in the comment section. Yesterday we did play a video by Joshua Maponga in our evening broadcast. Today we are seeing Ziyambi, Kazembe, I've confused the names. Speaking Kazembe. What does he say? What does he talk about?
Mundiregere ndisazonyorerwa kachirungu kaya. Pane kachirungu your excellency kanotyisa kwatiri maminister. Kanopera nemango mawedzi yekuti with immediate effect. Ukaona wanzaro chete zvatopera. Hallelujah. Zvandakutaura your excellency ndakangosanganawo nazvo. Ndatafungiswa nenyaya yedemocracy. Ndinoziva your excellency munoda democracy uye you are a constitutionalist. Hanzi nemwe murume anonzi Maponga uyo handisirini hanzi Joshua Maponga akatumira video hanzi ndeyenyu iyoyo chefu. Hanzi akati pamwe pacho democracy haishande, panoda dictatorship inoendesa nyika mberi. Hallelujah. Hanzi dictatorship yakanaka. Hanzi dai yanga yakanaka democracy ndobva pamuenzaniso. Hanzi mudzimba umu kana iri democracy baba namai pane pavanombotora vana vovaunganidza here voti nhai vanangu ndandichifunga kuti amai venyu vaite pamiri vagoita umwe mwana vanoda ngavasimudze maoko. Hanzi hakuna zvakadaro, zvinongoitika zvakadaro.
What was Maponga talking about? We're gonna play video ya Maponga. Yesterday we did a video where I give you two words: authoritarianism. Let me try to write it down. I'm spelling akanaka keyboard yangu ichinya sonike pamwe. Authoritarianism. I give you this word, authoritarianism. And we talked about what it means. This word authoritarianism. What does it mean to who? Authoritarianism means falling under authority, the rule of law. Kuenda pasipem temo. Authoritarianism does not mean bullying, does not mean abusing people. Authoritarianism means going under authority. The word authoritarianism comes from the word author. Author meaning the owner. Munar qualified kunge aripa position. Then I gave you another word, which is a demonstration. I'll write it on the screen so that it helps us. The way I'm writing these words and explaining them, fellow Zimbabweans, if you are Munarkwenda Uchikoro, is the same format you can apply so that you can understand any subject and pass. Democracy. Demonstration. Now, no more Sierra Kadaiso. Can you see Tupakat Chia, Papa? Come on. The word of God says, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but principalities and rulers of this world. So of this world, my beliefs are not brain medu. Right? So a demonstration is when an angry mob has orchestrations or strations. So demonstrating, it means you are demonstrating, you are angry. You cannot be angry. I'm talking about what demonstration means in a civilization. As a civilized people, what do we do? When we have a problem, we should have a round table meeting. Tochaurirana. Uyu mtungamiri ya asikugona basa. Arutaza pakati. Ngabude. Kalo ndivotere inini. Civilization. Aturayane, atpondane. Dictatorship. Joshua Maponga talking about. Let's go over to Joshua Maponga. But keep on reflecting on the word demonstration. Democracy is not really democracy. That's in a democracy. Vano vai votera munhu asiri pilot. Asiri qualified to drive ndege. Kuti ava drive ndege because van ane face yavanofarira. Remember, the crowd is always wrong. The majority is always wrong. Vanhu vakawanda kazhinji vanenge vari wrong. Iwewe chaunonyara kubudamba mako unosvika kuti vanhu vanozochi. You are concerned. Unoda kufadza vanhu vasingakufarire. You want to please people who don't like you. Vanhu vasingakufarire havafi vakafara newe nekuti havakufarire. Siyana navo. Ignore them. Jesus said, we will always have the wicked and the evil among us. The word wicked rinoreva kuti munhu ane utsinye anoda kuti iwewe ukaure. Kana munhu achida kuita yesinaka ngaazvitadzira rega kumba kwake. Sei aroda kubira mumwe munhu, sei aroda kuharasa mumwe munhu, sei aroda kufurira mumwe munhu. Let's go over to Maponga video. He's one of the people I respect, Joshua Maponga.
And I wish this particular clip Honorable Emerson Mnangagwa can listen to. Particularly my own president.
He directs the video to Mnangagwa and he says particularly my own president, acknowledging that Mnangagwa is our father, is our president. Is the first thing we should do, whether we like him or we don't like him. He is the president. What does God say about us respecting or disrespecting leaders? Saying Mnangagwa has failed here and here is not disrespect. It is the truth. Let's continue.
Yeah. In this country, I want to give him full authority to take this clip and play it over and over again until it sinks. The Traore model, the Boko model in Botswana, where a government must not be embarrassed to do business directly. Take all the minds of
usatadziswe naanybody. Now we need to kushanda panapa by some fools who are not economically productive. I bring forex into this country. I am an economically productive. For me, I have people who are bringing foreign currency into Zimbabwe who have come from under me, from under my leadership. Ndakagara panapa 15 maribango in a ghetto.
Critical resources of a country. Convert your ministries into a productive business unit. What you call SOEs.
He says convert your ministries into productive business units. Remember, I'm not disagreeing with him. We are just debating points. That point also I don't agree with it. Remember, it's in the ministry. Yatatenda Matevera. Minister in the entire minister of the nation. Anofara kuti tatenga Starlink. Inini. Ndikatenga computer. Operating system. Nothing out. We are doing business with Bill Gates just because I bought 10 Windows computers. Now I'm doing business with Bill Gates. That is what the government of Zimbabwe is doing when they procure Starlink and they say doing business with Elon Musk, and they want a monopoly to be only for themselves only to be able to distribute Starlink kits. That monopoly is illegal and is nonsense. Anybody who is willing to invest or a reseller, they should do that. That's how we increase our growth with our domestic products we are importing. We are not earning forex here, but internet enables people to be working, things like that. Right now, we're supposed to be expanding our entertainment industry under the leadership of Anselm Sanyatwe. People like me, we should be working with the Minister of Arts, Sports and Culture,
state-owned and
Zimura, Zimbabwe Music Rights Association, copywriting, protecting iwewe ordinary Zimbabwean. Ukapurane po puranapo, ukangoshuta uka video clip kemo arare murukucha. You should get your money. When that clip yabuda pa SABC, kana clip yo ndaibuditsa panapa pa TV7 live, you should get your money. You should get your money. Uka expose a corruption, you should get your cut. Those systems, the money is there. I put in Zimbabwe. It comes from the people who run the internet. We're supposed to be setting up those systems for every Zimbabwean to be getting a piece of it. Ukahara square wewe, munakalika sex tape rako pa internet. You should be able to remove it. Do you know where you even start? Right now in Zimbabwe, WhatsApp. We are here to be setting up those platforms to be helping Zimbabweans to help themselves. What do you have to choose from? Are you exposed enough? Or we are wasting our time watching satanic African movies? Not all African movies are satanic, but African movies, some people become your teachers of morality, as qualified or as not talent yachona. That doesn't happen. Big up to Philip Domingos. Anyways, we continue watching the Maponga video. The purpose of this video is not news on TV7 Live. Is what we can get, what we can learn from real life examples, what will be happening. Kuti tiwemba Zimbabwean akachenjera. Tadzidze kubva pa last election, last ma problem atikasangana nawo, panombonetsa mari, panomboitika panic buying. Tinotikapuyiswa imwe stimulus. Tinoita panic buying ere mangwana chaiyo. Mangwana mtu linguba akabuda achita stimulus yake ku RBZ, vanhu vaiti panic buying ere. Here to stimulate economic activity, but there is no commerce in this country. You can't build an economy. An economy builds itself.
The prices. Where the government can mine uranium, can mine platinum. Visai wana Zimplats up. The government must own the.
I don't want Zimbabwe government to own those mines. The Zimbabwe government cannot run anything. They cannot run Telecel. They cannot run NRZ. They cannot run ZRP. They cannot run anything. They cannot run anything. They cannot run a currency. The Zimbabwe government allow talented Zimbabweans in fields who have passion to be able to do that. Since the land reform program, no Zimbabwean can farm. Kurima. Let us empower more tobacco farmers. Tobacco farmers, we are the best anyway in the world. People come from and learn to. There's more money in agriculture than in minerals. Minerals. Kanatine problem. Let us sit down with them. You are being unfair to our people here and there. The Chinese, you are being unfair to our people here and there. If you don't want, we'll kick you out. We bring in the Russians. If Russians are unfair, we kick you out. We bring in the Americans. Those guys can run businesses more than we can do, better than we can do.
Platinum in the country directly and sell it directly and make profit and cut off taxes away from the people. Be profitable with the resources of a country. Traore has done it. In the country, they don't pay tax. Why? Because the government is selling the gold. Saka imimize urumende kana mkati coal ndenyu, uranium ndenyu, platinum ndenyu, chrome ndenyu. Mukati bundles are very taxi my radio. So don't get missing where I must pay a license for a radio.
That is how desperate our government is. Surviving on taxes because the government cannot. I have no problem with supporting my nation. I have no problem with giving my government tax. Uchitambirisi. Masivo servant anotirapa isusu kana tarwara. Manesi. Yotichengeta mma community. Kuti tisachikore mtemo. Kiyo wano wane unu wakanaka. Tisa harasane. Masoja anotichengeta isusu from externalities. Nima politician anenga kurisa msoro. I have no problem with paying the tax. I have a problem with paying the tax right now because we have no nation. We have no government. There is no stability. Nation building. We don't have Zimbabweans who are proud to be Zimbabweans. We don't have patriotic Zimbabweans. You don't enforce that. When an American says, I'm a proud American, they are really proud Americans. They know they can attain the American dream any day, any time. There is no overzealous member of parliament, no overzealous leader or minister and mira pamberi piwana shara nonsense. Whether that correct? How do you deal with a mob? How do you deal with the masses? How do you deal with the people? How have the Chinese done it? I mean, what do we need? Do we need kutina vanu? Tulakisa masoja mu road reza itikwa na Mugabe ambo munyasoroa vanu. Bose vanu varikuita zvakati. We're a dysfunctional people, a dysfunctional nation, a dysfunctional communities. In the diaspora. Work. How do you deal with dysfunctional families, dysfunctional society? What are the characteristics of dysfunction? Teach you know about dysfunctional communities. What type of crimes, criminal activity? Zimbabwe intelligence. Those who are chiziya izvozvo. Number one, musanyeperwe nevanhu vanoti intelligence basa rayo. Of course, kune intelligence yes security ya president. Basa intelligence is to research for new technology that can help a nation, not to harass anybody wherever you are. Musa harass kwene madriver emuhurumende because ane idea otanga uchindiri mu-CIO ukamuona achida kujairira mumamise.
I don't embarrass as a government that you have so much resources and we give you power as government to beneficiate these resources. What do you think was $30? The government must become an active business partner. Botswana is taking over its own diamonds. And once the government has money, then they reduce on taxes. You are allowed as government to own state resources, critical state resources. And it's something that I'm willing to mobilize. And mobilize the community is not a crime. Out of the 82 minerals that are key in Zimbabwe, 416 total.
He is very correct. But I'm here to add this to you, Zimbabweans kuti muzive. No individual can own land here. Zvikuti vanhu zvekupwanya vanhu dzimba izvi is illegal. I can help you with the legal jargon. My procedures, I can do that. I'm a very highly intelligent person. I'm a very creative person. Apana zvinombotinetsa neta. Kunetsa kana mumatarizi motion ndibati. Number details on the screen. I'll put them. Nobody can own minerals. Unokwanisa kumboshandisa, including mazim plus. Vese vanoti mine yangu, you cannot own that at law. Who is the government? The government does not exist. The government is nobody. Government, vanhu vanotumwa nesu isusu varidzi venyika, the nation. We employ the government. And our resources, the government does not take ownership of anything. If one undermines me, anenge achita treason. Iye ngati Mnangagwa uri kufoira next election handimuvhotiri. And hapana anondirambidza including Mnangagwa wachona. Asi iye haabvumirwe nemutemo kundiharasa kana kuita any treasonous act semunhu akaita swore an oath of office. Then we have an issue. What happened to Itai Dzamara? This is a sensitive issue. So I'll use rhetoric so that those who have brains to be able to reason are the only ones who can understand. You know, Itai Dzamara, before he was allegedly abducted, maimuzira here Itai Dzamara asati abductiwa. Kanyanya kuita nyaya yakaita sei kuti ZANU-PF imuurayi. ZANU-PF yakapusa zvekudaro. Ndiani akauraya Dzamara? Alliance. Apa vakatorwa alliance naThokozani Kupe zvakapusa. We did also videos on that. We talked about that. If they had simply followed that, they wouldn't be recalled. All of them were just supposed to say, patakapinda alliance, we did not enter a ticket to MDCT. Ini ndandire kwa biti. Ini ndandire kwa ngirigiri. And nobody would be recalled. Gives a party the power to recall you is when they sponsor you with campaigning money. Did the CCC sponsor its candidates? The CCC did not sponsor its candidates, so it cannot recall them. And magistrate, arisi lawyer rako, uka recall. And if you fail to cite that, this party did not sponsor me, I used my own funds to campaign, so they cannot recall me, you will be recalled. And maybe you want to make an appeal without to my primary election, my by elections, and West Marienyika, when we are seeing the government is so desperate that it could have takes for everything. The guys cannot make money. A big cooperation. My Chinese are my Zimbabweans, etc. Yes, they have to be bringing them, because if you give the Zimbabwean that money, I know just say, I don't think I go now and get China. The nation is drawn into chaos. Those people, at least they bank their monies. We have circulation. We don't have a trade deficit. Domestic product in Nika, last year is $28 per capita. 20 per head capita from the word cap. And the decapitation capita. It should be calculated per 1,000 people, where we get the word capitalism. 1% controls 10 people. 10 people control 100 people. 100 people control 1,000. Same algorithms we use in multi-level marketing and things like that. But no, we don't have that. Sima minister anofunga kuti kutenga Starlink chinhu chinoshamisira. Mutsvangwa aidhila ma-Starlink abva asungwa. Business capacity kutovhunduka. Same way avanovhunduka Strive masiwa 6 years before him launching wireless. Strive masiwa is not even a technologist, he's an entrepreneur, somebody who procures my GSM modem and their system. They're just billing, they're giving us a service. Yemafona anoshanda. We have good internet. Nyango vasinganyatsogona kuzonyesa kuti internet inyasvita stable level MTN yoti 2G inoshanda kufura 4G kuZimbabwe, but stable. Do you have any telecell anyway? Right now TV7 Live and Tutombo Senza, I should be 5 million subscribers, broadcasting videos in America, doing my deals na BBC, doing my deals ku Hollywood, America, because I have the ability, I have the talent, and I know it. I don't need anybody to tell me that. I don't need anybody's approval. But when you're growing up, you're realizing these people, they're after me, they're after my blood. They've been doing that ever since. Unongomuka iwewe. Anytime uchiona panze pane munhu akamira pamba pako ari kuite chii, vanhu kutochinjana wena majuti. It's real. It's real. Why do you think my celebrity need my bodyguard? Who killed that rapper in South Africa? I'm forgetting the name. It was shorter. Is it AKA? It's short in South Africa. Who murdered Lucky Dube? Is murdered in South Africa. Who murdered Tupac in the United States of America? It's not PDD. We musicians don't attack other musicians. We will support them. Whether they will sungura and I don't need to even know their story. Anytime, any day. Should they need anything? If you're there, feel free to contact me anytime. We click. Who is link?
$82 are critical in the world. That of those 82, if we can identify 20 key ones, uranium, chrome, platinum, gold, diamonds, and what? And we create our own government as a business unit to dig these things and sell them. Cut off the Chinamen and middlemen who are giving you 5-10%.
Yeah.
Why have half a loaf is better than nothing when you can have the whole loaf?
Whatever Joshua Maponga is talking about, whether he is correct or he is wrong, he is thinking about Zimbabwe. Leaders in politics, you've seen, trying to think about Zimbabwe. Thank you very much to Gamble always. What do? We don't reason with them, we reason with us, ourselves, and come together. We start our own private currencies. We start our own private companies. We empower each others. Like-minded. Darlington Measure, thank you very much. Watching from Santon, South Africa. Felipe Domingos. To those watching us live, you can write your comments in the top chat with the super chat. That's how I can see your names. The story is about us. The government does not exist. We employ the government. Government haigonekana kutsvaga mari. That's why mari yemateksi. Tivunduke. But we don't support my demonstrations. We don't support the demagoguery. We don't support my demolitions. We don't support xenophobic tendencies. We don't support mob activism. We don't support pretending activism. We support empowering each and every Zimbabwean to be able to be fully independent economically. You can do it. You can work. You can be as productive as Kudakwashita Gray and make the same billions and millions. You can be as hardworking as Wikineo Chivayo. The devil is out there telling you Wikineo Chivayo is a thief. Alright, Mbava. Nagono tsaka tenda ere. Yo no za tenda ye muru mendeni one can say ere. So, don't talk about Chivayo. Talk about yourself. What are we doing? What are we teaching our children? Train up a child in a way they should grow up and they will not deviate from it. Kana mwana wakakura kubva ari pa 0 years old achingonzwa uchiblame Mnangagwa just because you failed to provide for your family. And yes, maybe wabirwa mari yese nematsosa ane uniform anonzi set RP road block. What do we do about that?
Are you happy to be waiting for miracle poor change over your own resources? I say no. We did not fight for these Chinese to come and be taking lithium in Bikita. We need to own our resources. We trade with it on the international market at the true value. We make profit for ourselves. Look at UEA. For you simply to be born as a Dubai, you're a millionaire. Why? Because the oil is in the national state reserve, and every citizen has a right to having shares into that. The Mutapa Trust, which they've built so far, must now take all the key resources of the country in terms of minerals, create a business model, put the money into the Mutapa.
The Mutapa Fund, when it was launched, I was happy for it. I thought it was going to do what it was supposed to do. Ndakatofara kuti nyika yangu yafunga plan up. Hapana zviripo. Nonsense.
Must get money from that trust.
Should benefit
without even going to work, man. Other countries are doing it. What's wrong with us? What's wrong with mune nhamo yeshuku yoburombo mapuwa zvinhu zvakawanda nemari nezvichekwa zvakawanda, but you still claim poverty because your leadership sends Don't try to massage a colonial system. It does not work. Interrupt, destabilize the colonial political economic system. It was not built with the benefit of an African. It was built to draw resources and protect a colonial.
Season is supposed to finish the empire. However, I respect for the British. Thank you for colonizing us and giving us the education that we have now. It is because of the British we were able to criticize them. We would have been animals without them. We are a cruel people, a lying people. We don't help anybody. We don't care for nobody. We are so evil. The people. Munhu aroda kuti ungokaura chete nekushorana wamboona iri trouser rakapfeka wamboona iri ringirikini yacho haiwawo mashoko anjarwa nemunhu akaita sei. The next time you hear any statement being talked by anybody, ask yourself this question. Ndanzwa chichitaurwa nemunhu uyu chinotaurwa nemunhu akaita sei, ari kuda kuti zviite sei. What's the agenda? Always ask your. That's how you test every spirit. Komfana wako ari kungodai so ari kukuudzirei kuna izvi zvinoita here zvati kuitwa nauyoyo. Those are the tools of the devil. Distraction. The tools of the devil. Mike, I'm dealing with the audio. I think I talked about that. Okay, let me just see. Thank you very much. Anyways, thank you very much for that comment. When the comment comes, I check. Maybe there's a new problem. The problems are there. Thank you very much, Mike. Me. Thank you for that comment. Basically, my system is not stable because of where I am right now. It's not because of ZANPF. It's because of some powerless, superstitious people who pester me. I want to one is ZANPF. ZANPF aitume matsaga akadaro bato rine masoja nemapurisa. Mnangagwa achida kundiuraya anditomboziva ndiye andiuraya. He affords any mercenary or any methods. These are some poor people sent by the devil. The devil is a broke nigger. Thank you, Mike, for that audio. Anyways, we continue. Apologies, fellow Zimbabweans. My system is not stable. I have to be dealing with a lot of things, but I have to continue my live broadcast. The thing is, I have to leave this place. It's a dysfunctional community with the dysfunctional people who literally murdered my father in the year 2008. They've been here. Me. Things like that. I don't have to prove anything to anybody. I have to warn the enemy. I am very dangerous. I'm a very highly intelligent person. So I'm saying, try to kill me. The enemy, to the enemy. You have compassion and empathy. Because I'm same line, it doesn't mean to me respecting any person. It doesn't mean it's self-respect, it's dignity, my values in it. Then people take advantage. I've done that already. I owe nothing to nobody. And I can't quit it.
System outside. We need to remodel that model and say tarima pano taita masaga matatu amabagwe tiri vana vangani tiri vana vatanhatu umwe ungatore kapu yake. Why are we as Zimbabweans not benefiting from the diamonds, the platinum, the uranium that we have in the country, the chrome and the lithiums and the golds? Why are we not benefiting? Because the Chinese people are paying 14%
yes
tax. Where is
Yes.
where is the 80% going?
Chinonzi tax. Vanondomozera wakomana kusina murumende. Basa retax nderechiyi. Basa retax nderekupa vanhu vamalocally competitive advantage. But even when 2016, RBZ we had old mutual implied rate ya benefit ya foreign investors. But Indiana knows a forex ekawanda foreign investor. Kana Mzimbabwean we forex remittance arutumira vana vamai vake mari ku Zimbabwe. Muzimbabwe ari kubenefit ari kunza forex ekawanda more than 10 times. Takuda kuina kupera kwevideo inoyi fellow Zimbabweans. We make long videos. These are videos to be empowering each other and helping each other as we continue to be building our people nation.
They're taking it. So it's like it's a new way of being colonized.
No,
not a new way. It's the same way.
This particular piece, I would really want to recommend to Comrade Mnangagwa. We don't want democracy. We want a dictator. Yeah. Dictate the right thing. Make the... You see what Mugabe did on the land issue? That resolution.
The land reform was nonsense. Came on Chenjirai Hunji. We cannot repeat that. I'm disagreeing with what I think Maponga is saying. Doesn't mean I respect him in what he's saying. I don't agree with the land reform. That's why we should have a round table meeting. No, apa mdala wrong pakati apa zviti. Kana namuna genuine apana so sure. Kana pana ayewa auskuona pakati. We bring minds together. Polarate. No separator who wants to divide and rule us. That's what we do as a civilized people. That's democracy. I don't want it. I don't want it out of us. PF, I don't want it. But the best thing we have in Zimbabwe right now is the only political party we have. It's the only one that has given us stability. There is no war. There is no looting. Iri corrupt kudaro. There is no better alternative. You think if Daisa Sengezo Chabangwari Vice President nation, Jacob Mafume, are you a minister of local government and a minister of defense? Die fire? No. Love ZANU-PF or hate it is the best thing we have, but we will not let them be dictators. And Mnangagwa will not be president until 2030. No. His term is better over Abaya. We go to new election, we vote new leaders in.
Legislative. It's not official. You need that radical movement to democracy. Look in your history, Ola. You're a young man.
Yeah.
Look in your history. Show me one civilization that was built by democracy. One.
Hakuna.
Kunongoda leader nungosumuka enda funa kwasutsiwa so. It's long uchita zvakanaka.
Without ease and chaites. Tatomirira bana.
Iboko chakasumuka zuro last week Botswana kai. Nyanya matenda ndinongona makore matatu. Zvinoti kamirira kuti muchata ma election mukuvota mugoita matenda.
That's true.
Ngwani yape. Ndikumbira kumbujawo the whole government is now.
Yes. Duma Boko says to his people, I promise I should be able to complete it in my term. Dosho kwadi at Skudama extension. You can deliver. Next guy ende nyika ndeyedu mtungamiri ite duty iwo autobvumidza kuti private business rako rajuti service you should be serving. Ausi boss uri mushandi kuva president ndiwe mushandi wevanhu vese pero ndiwe boss wevanhu vese ndiwe mambo wevanhu vese no kuve a leader kuve mushandi wemunhu wese.
Now shaking with, but the policy, the government, we just talk about policy.
Exactly.
I want to implement.
Exactly.
Look at let's be a fan. Look at what Traore has done in 3 years. You went in the government, there was no pen in the Reserve Bank.
And we talk about Ibrahim Traore. How do we find our own Ibrahim Traore? No, we think what no itirana muno mu Zimbabwe. Kurowana mari. Masiwa aishungurudzwa nehurumende imwe chete ZANU-PF iripo. No, we don't risk. No, hakuna zvakadaro. Tinye, une any Zimbabwean whether they party kana chi. Of course ZANU-PF is made up of Zimbabweans. I'm speaking of all Zimbabweans.
Grab the gold mines. Look at the development he has done in less than 3 years.
In that
from
country.
Infrastructure to production to agriculture, even aeroplane manufacturing and car, electronics, what. The whole economy is running. All in favor, say aye. All in favor, say aye. There's too much organization. So no a leader who is purposeful, who is clear on vision, who can see what they want to do, implement it. We would have conversations later. Aishandi democracy paimba yangu government aishandi.
That he is talking about. If we have somebody who is delivering, and if that somebody who is delivering, they know themselves, doing things for people, and the personality case also, everybody would be happy. Where are we in Zimbabwe? Whether we're correct and wrong, we're complaining. It's an issue. Can you afford what you want? Can you afford the basics right now in Zimbabwe? What is the priority? That is not the case. And unfortunately doesn't apply to our people. What we need in Zimbabwe is educating our people, empowering our people, nation building, giving our people confidence in themselves, knowing that you can do what you want to do. Know that this government is useless, it's not going to help you. But you as a Zimbabwean, be proud, be patriotic, build your own nation. Don't kill your own country just because. And when you handle yourself in communities, in societies, the things you plant, you sow is what you reap. They've inherited that from their parents, etc. It comes back to us in this life. Parasympathetic nervous system, the algorithms that apply to our reality in this ecosystem as a humanity. Ecosystem economy upenyu manje inonzi ecosystem yaya yekuti makonzo akashaikwa zviyanga zvichipida makonzo zvakudya chakati, makonzo anodya uswa, makonzo achidyiwa nezvakati, tsuro dzichidya uswa, tsuro dzichidyiwa nemhuka yakati, mhuka yakati ichidyiwa nemhuka yakati. That ecosystem, that balance also applies to spiritual things. What you sow is what you reap. Remember, in this life, we are here on earth to be here on earth. So your family comes first. You come first. What other people think. Madeza ndakakura vanhu vaipara chokwadi kusenza muhurumende vachiti job security ndo job security here iyoyo. Unozona pension pana rwana pension. Have you ever seen it happening anyway? Empower your own children, educate your family. Mba kwenye munoita nezvei. Mwana unogona kurima kudarika iwewe, muzukuru wako ugona kurima kufura iwewe, kufura mwana wako. Is so right now when you are in an state, kana uri kumba kwako iwe ndozani mwana wangu anoita zvinhu zvandinoita inini better than me. Mwana wake. Ngati padzimba dzedu. Wachiti hai mwana wenyu unomujaita mimi. Izvezvi mamutengera imwe uniform. Spoil your child. Mupe confidence. Mupe zvaanoda. Hakuna kurova mana. Don't traumatize children. Kuti mhoresa vanhu kuti makadii henyu. It's not respect. Hamuziya nomumhoresere chii. You don't teach respect. You don't teach gratitude. Ita maita basa. Anybody can say it. Kuti tavana hypocrisy. Maita basa, ita maita basa. Kukanganisa mwana kana uchitodaro. Kukana asiri kuda gift yapuwa yachona. Kukana arungoitambira but haisi kumufadza. Kuda taite mabeta. Iwewe, if you help anybody with anything, do you want them kuti vakutende vati maita basa iwewe? When you genuinely help somebody, saka vana rukudzidzisiro yenzi maita basa kuti makadii henyu. Ija yemadofu asida kudzidzisa vana maths ne science ne English. Mwana kumaraini asina nyembe anda kusalutwa nemakadii henyu mamuka sei. Lecturewa ni vanhu vamunosangana navo kuzvibhurani mumageto, vamunosangana navo kumisika, vamunosangana navo pamabridge. Bad company. The word of God says bad company corrupts good character. Try to mix with people who are better than you. Tamba ne vanhu vari better kufura iwewe. Mai yako wauri kubatsira. Don't friend. Tambire naye munhu asiri better than you. Uda kudzidze chii? Learn. Listen to people who can help you, who are better than you. We do that when we learn to celebrate those who have made it, not slandering. Anybody who is rich, we hate them. Takatanga na makandiwa. Hey, makandiwa this. Hey, makandiwa zvikazenge. The success story of Zimbabwe. Hey, magaya this. Hey, magaya zakazenge. Sikambo Zimbabwe, anybody who is successful, we hate. Who do you identify with? Uri kuside kupi wewe? Uri kuside kwa Satan here kana uri kuside kwa success? Me, I am team Tagwire, team Chivayo. I am not team Chidumo na Masendeke or team Mabanditi. Now, this story. Mnangagwa arrest in England. Halls of power where ambition weaves its tangled wing web. A storm brews over house of Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa, gilded son of Zimbabwe's iron-fisted ruler, is a proud falcon soaring high on borrowed wings. His feathers are plucked from the nation's coffers, gleam with the sheen of privilege. Yet in this metaphorical saga, the falcon has been snared, not in the familiar skies of Harare, but in the cold unyielding nets of pretense justice. The scene unfolds like a Shakespearean drama. Shown the heir apparent strides through London's fog-draped streets. His swag, a defiance of gravity. He is untouchable, or so he believes, clogged in the invincibility of his father's name. But Britain, the ancient lion of law, does not bow to foreign crowns. In this tale, Sean's wings are clipped by the long arm of justice. Arrested not for petty theft, but for crimes that echo through the corridors of power. Money, laundry, and corruption, or perhaps a diplomatic misstep too brazen to ignore. The charges, like thunderclaps, reverberate back to Zimbabwe, where people's whispers grow into a roar. Back home, the arrest is a spark in a tinderbox. The streets of Harare pulse with the rhythm of discontent, as if the nation's heartbeat has quickened. The metaphor deepens. Emmerson Mnangagwa, the old lion, sits atop a crumbling throne, his mane grayed by years of clinging to power. His son's fall is not just a personal blow, but a crack in the fortress of his rule. The opposition, like wolves scenting blood, seizes the moment. Step down, they howl. Their voices amplified by the wind of social media and the cries of a weary populace. They paint Mnangagwa as a tree rotten at the core. Its branches, his family, his allies, snapping under the weight of their own greed. In this allegory, Sean's arrest is more than a legal snare. It is a mirror held up to Zimbabwe's soul. The nation sees its reflection, a land plundered, its riches funneled into foreign vaults, while its people starve. The demands for Emmerson Mnangagwa to step down are not mere politics, but a tidal wave crashing against a decaying dam. Each chant, each protest is a pebble in the avalanche, threatening to bury Mnangagwa. Yet the old lion rose defiance. From State House, Emmerson spins his own tale. His son is a victim, ensnared by foreign powers, jealous of Zimbabwe's sovereignty. He calls it a conspiracy, a plot by imperial ghosts to topple his regime. But the people, weary of fairy tales, see through the smoke. They know the falcon is no accident, but the inevitable tumble of a house built on sand. In this metaphorical Britain, Sean's arrest is a reckoning, a moment when the world says no more. It is a warning to all who soar too high on stolen wings. The law, like gravity, spares no time, and we're talking of the law of God, not the legislations that are passed by uneducated, poorly educated parliamentarians. In the Resignation Square, Zimbabwe stand at crossroads. In the future, hanging like a storm cloud, heavy with the promise of change, or a threat of chaos, or TV7 Live, which is a threat to the chaos and the devil himself. The devil is a small boy. To everybody who is watching us live right now, John Tinashe, Mukundiza, Nathaniel, John Ngua, Martin Chimari Zeni, Ketlo Bontile, Supambayiwa, Zanu Must Go, Darlington Misha, Gamble Always, Mike Me, Kumbulani Dungeni, Abuto Dube. Listen to these words, fellow Zimbabweans. Empower yourselves. Empower your families. There is no Messiah that is going to come to help you. The devil over-exaggerates the struggles. He's a deceiver. He gives you a picture which is not real. Even though what you are afraid of is not really there, the fear is real. So whether the problem is imagined or real, if you are concerned, you are concerned. So we need to deal with things as they are. There is no stability in the nation of Zimbabwe. If the government wants to be building Zimbabwe, the first thing they should do is nation building by definition. There is a reason why God doesn't understand. They make some people understand some things in some type of English. Evil. God does not allow you to have knowledge or wisdom if you are an evil, wicked person. The book of Proverbs says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of all wisdom. And somewhere in the Bible it says, the devil is the father of all lies. Iwewe uriwega, urikumba kwako iwewe. Have you ever or created a lie to harm another person? When you did that, you were a devil. We see Jesus talking to Peter saying, "Get behind me, Satan." Who is Satan? Satan is not some guy I know gotta pass pako. Anybody who does evil, it's a metaphor. Jesus says, I came to test the spirit, the family. Your family comes first. At the same time, you will be a responsible Zimbabwean. A patriotic Zimbabwean. Me, I am proud of being Zimbabwean. But I'm proud of Zimbabwe. I would leave Zimbabwe and never come back anytime. I will not sacrifice myself for a lady to feed one anatongo garakudara. All those guys who did die in the liberation struggle, they have died for nothing. Until we prosper, all those who died in the liberation war, they have died for nothing. That's my number there. To those who want to support us, EcoCash or whatever, those are my details showing on the screen. To those who want to contact me, do send a message per WhatsApp. Don't call. Phone yangu ino moneta kutama call. I'm using a very cheap phone, Redmi 13C. The phone that I'm using here, I'm surrounded by jealous fools. I'm gonna write anything pamba pako. Twitter protest, they are entitled losers. Who think kuti ndiri baba wako ndiri mai wavo. Kudakuya kuzopa shemo zvavo kwandiri vakadzi nevarume vakuru. Sit down, Satan, and go to hell. And to all those good people who are watching us on TV7 Live, be blessed, be a blessing, be the mouth of God, be the hand of God. Do good by actually doing it. What good is being good for if it is not for being done, for being good? And is it any good if it is not being done? Action. Yet we do. Dr. Clarence, broadcasting from Zimbabwe, Africa, under the state of the Kingdom of God. As always, thank you for watching, and I'm out. Obeti Madziwa.